Okay. Welcome everyone to our webinar this afternoon. I'd like to introduce Kayla McCown with CareerPlug. Kayla?
Yeah, and as we talked about, anyone, if you have questions during this, please feel free to put them in the chat. I told Sarah, stop me at any time with a question. Want to make sure that we're answering that we're addressing what your all's needs are, as well as making sure that you understand who we are and what we do and how we've worked together with UASA to provide this to you all. And so I will give you just the high level for those of you all that may not be familiar. You'll see too, I put a link in the chat. And so if you are not familiar with CareerPlug, maybe you've never even activated your account with CareerPlug, you have that there. And so you have that link in the chat. What does that mean that you get a complimentary account with CareerPlug? I'm going to actually show you that in just a few moments. So everyone that is a member gets that complimentary account that provides you a branded careers page so that your jobs can be displayed on the UASA main site. But if you are not familiar with CareerPlug, who we are and what we do, let me start with who we are. So we are an applicant tracking system. What do we do and why do we want to help you? We're committing to helping people develop people and make the right hire. How do we do that? We help you do that by attracting applicants through what is known as an applicant tracking system. So we have worked together with UASA to develop a templatized system that is easy to use. So you simply log into your account, you grab a template, you make some tweaks to it, and then you post. But then we help you communicate effectively with applicants. So we want to provide you the opportunity to text applicants, to communicate with them, then evaluate them thoroughly through things like pre-screen questions and assessment tools built in, all while automating as much as the process as possible, because we know that you all are busy working in your business and we're trying to all work together to help you get to that place of working on your business. And how do we do that? It is ultimately by helping you all make the right hires so that you're growing your business, you're growing your bottom line, and that you are getting to that place of expanding and working on your business and not in it. When we talk about maximizing applicant flow, what does that mean? So people are probably familiar with many of the job boards that we're going to distribute your job to. So Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Monster, but we don't stop there. And so how does it work? We talk about that we're able to show your applicants and get them from a variety of sources, but how does that really work for you? So when you select one of those templatized jobs, you're going to make the tweaks to you. So you're going to put in your benefits, your perks, your salary range, make sure that the pre-screen questions speak truly to what you are looking for. And with one click, we're going to distribute your job to all of these job boards at one time. So anyone can go directly to Indeed and have an account. Anyone can go to ZipRecruiter and have an account. You can go post on LinkedIn. You can go post to your social sites, but we help you do that with one click. And so what is the advantage to that? We know that when you're busy, you're working on your business, you have things to do, you may not have time to go log into 15 separate places and communicate with applicants in 15 different ways, right? We can lose applicants in the process. So by using an applicant tracking system like CareerPlug, what happens is with one post, your job goes to all of those places, but applicants from those 15 job boards are going to come back into one account. Then we have simple automation like a green thumbs up and a red thumbs down that are going to allow you to communicate with applicants quickly. We know that you don't have time to go spend 30 minutes on 15 different sites communicating with all of those applicants. We also provide the ability to communicate with applicants via text, and we know how important that is for getting the right hire. When we talk about making the right hire, you're going to see some things in the system, and you will hear us talking about what we have to do to be seen as an employer of choice in our hiring area today. When we talk about making the right hire, there's the big three. We want to lead with benefits and perks. We know that applicants today are making a decision if they are going to apply to a job in 6 to 7 seconds or less. So in this TikTok world that we live in, we get this much of their time for them to make a decision if they even want to move forward in the application process. So how do we sell ourselves as that employer of choice? I know it's a huge paradigm shift from where we were pre-COVID and even 3-4 years before that, where we were in this situation where applicants would convince us why they are great, and then we would hire the applicant, right? We are now in this situation where we have to convince applicants why we are great and why they should come and work for us. And so how do we do that? It is by the total package that we offer. And so your salary is still really important. And that is one of the biggest things that applicants look at. But the next biggest thing that we want to make sure that this is where we sell ourselves in that total package is including the benefits and perks. We start with those at the top because we know applicants want to see what's in it for me. Typically, as business owners, when we hear benefits and perks, our mind defaults to 401k, dental, health, vision. But those are no longer the only things that applicants see as a benefit and perk. The top 5 that applicants were looking for in benefits and perks at the end of 2021, according to Monster's 2021 fall report, were flexibility, career advancement, the mission and vision of the company that they were working for. They wanted to have professional development opportunities and work at a diversified employer. And so those are important, but there's numerous things that you can do to really build what that looks like in the culture and that benefits and perks package. Something as simple as even a paid birthday off. It's only ever going to cost you 1 day a year, but it can really speak to applicants with what's in it for them. And so when we talk to these applicants and we're showing them that we're not just another place to work. At the end of March, there were 11 million jobs posted, but only 5.5 million unemployed workers. And not all of those 5.5 million unemployed workers are willing and or able to return to the workforce. And then you have to take that number, segment it out by the geographic location they are in. And then out of that number, you have your certain ones that are only going to go back to skilled trades. So maybe it's nursing, maybe it's a plumber, electrician. So then that leaves us with an even smaller pool that everyone in our area that is hiring is competing for. And so when we know that competition is high, that is why it's so important that we sell ourselves as that employer of choice. And we do that by showing who we are. And so you all, I'm sure, utilize social media. You all have websites, but we want to provide you more tools than just that to really build your brand image. And so that we'll get into a little bit in an account. But we start with benefits and perks. We show them how we are different, that we're not just another place to work, that we can help them build a career with us, that we can help them grow, not just as an employee, but as a person as well. Number 2, we want to make sure that we always advertise our jobs with a salary range included. And that is because applicants expect to know it up front. Many applicants will search for a job in the salary range that they can afford to work in. And so by not including it, it may not be that we are not the employer of choice. We are just not being seen in the job search because we didn't include that at the beginning. Number 2, if we do not include a salary range, Indeed will estimate one for us. We want to make sure that any time that we are advertising, that we are speaking truly to the compensation and benefits package that we offer. And we can make sure we are doing that by including the salary range ourselves up front. Also with that, and I'll show you a tool to help with this, research your competition out to make sure that pay is competitive. It doesn't necessarily have to line up exactly, especially if you have a great benefits and perks package and that culture that people are wanting to be a part of. And then the third big one is making sure that we are communicating with applicants the same way that they are communicating with us, and that is with their mobile device. We know at CareerPlug that text are responded to 60 times faster than email. So just like you and I have children, I have other things going on in my life. I may glance at my phone at a text message numerous times during a day. There was a recent study released that showed that people between the ages of 25 and 40 look at their phone on average 380 plus times a day. So when we know that our applicants are looking at their phones that many times a day in a quick glance, we want to communicate to them in an intimate way. And so that's with their mobile device, that's via text. We can look at this kind of like the landline phone when we're thinking about why we would do text versus email. When the landline phone first came out, that was an intimate source of communication, right? You gave your number out to people that you knew, you trusted. When they called, you answered. As that number began to get distributed to other places, that is where caller ID came from. You wanted to know who was calling before you answered. And then when mobile devices came out, we started to see the end of the landline. That's the same for email. Email used to be this intimate source of communication. Then it started, you would put your email in to receive ads. Then it started getting spam mail. So you don't always check your email all the time, but text we still view as this intimate source of communication. someone that knows us personally. And so that is how we want to communicate back to applicants. For this session here, and we've been talking about this with Maggie, anyone that attends this session today, we first at CareerPlug, we just want to say thank you for coming. We're super excited to partner with UASA. We're really excited about what Maggie and Sarah are doing on your all's behalf to bring this system and tools to you all that's easy to implement to help you all grow your business. So anyone that is currently on the complimentary version, you will know that if you have this orange upgrade button in your account, then that means you are currently on the complimentary account. That means that your job is going to the UASA careers page, but it is not being distributed to all of the major job boards. So by simply clicking that upgrade button, that's going to put you on the CareerPlug Pro plan, and that can get your job distributed to all of the job boards. Anyone that upgrades that attended this session here, you will get $100 off of your subscription for attending this. And so I just want to highlight that. It's there if you want to take advantage. So, but what if you're new to CareerPlug? You also get a 14-day free trial with CareerPlug to try out Pro. And so you can see, okay, what is the difference between being on complimentary and doing this? This a lot of times brings up the question, how are you different from Indeed? Why would I go through you versus just going through Indeed directly? So we are not a competitor to Indeed. We are a partner of Indeed. We work synergistically with all of the job boards to make sure that your job gets distributed there. We don't actually have a place where you post jobs through our website. We simply distribute the job postings to all of the job boards and work together with them to help you all maximize applicant flow. So we want to help you do that. So one of the big things, if you are currently on Indeed, when you upgrade to CareerPlug, before you're going to have your jobs distributed to Indeed, you want to make sure that you close any jobs external of CareerPlug. And that is simply because Indeed has a one job, one post rule. And so that means that for a business, so if you were going to be looking for an appliance repair technician, let's say that you posted that job directly to Indeed, then you logged into your CareerPlug account and you posted that job as well. Indeed would see that as location blasting, and they would flag that and not give it visibility on the job boards. They really try to keep that neat and clean so that we're reporting accurate statistics to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics so that we truly know how many jobs are posted versus openings in the workplace. And so if you have any jobs posted external of CareerPlug on job boards, we would encourage you to close those, go into CareerPlug, repost that same job, and then we're immediately going to distribute it back out to all of the major job boards for you. Once you've activated your 14-day free trial, post your first job following some of the best practices that we've mentioned today. And I'm going to show you how to do this in a live account. Contact your applicants. The ideal time to contact applicants is within the first 15 minutes to 4 hours of them applying. And that is simply because we know that applicants are applying for around a job a minute on Indeed, and they spend 15 minutes a day doing so. So while we are busy and we may think as employers that 2 to 3 days is not a long time to get back to applicants, that's 30 to 45 potential other employers that have reached out to our applicant of choice by the time we are making contact. So if we can do all of these things, if we can post our job with what applicants are looking for, we can contact them quickly and evaluate them thoroughly, that is how we can all work together to make the right hire. But I want to show you a few of these tools here. Do we have any questions right now, Sarah? I'll kind of take a stop here so that we can address that if we do. I don't hear anything, so I will keep going. Maggie as well, if you hear anything, please let me know. So we talked about the branded careers.
Forgot to mute. Nope, we're good.
Okay, good. So every user with UASA is going to get what we call a careers page. So this is what a live account looks like. When you click the dashboard, you will see over on the right-hand side where it says careers page. I think David Jackson has a question.
I don't see a Q&A or.
I just got a notification that said hand raised by him.
Okay, I'll go to him and let him speak. David?
Seems that it's always more expensive, even
David, can you hear us?
Just point me in the right direction, and I'm probably just gonna buy something.
Okay,
I don't know what that was.
okay, that's okay.
So I'll lower their hand.
Okay, let's see.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, and then we have a question in the chat that says, if we have a job sponsored on Indeed, how could we keep that job sponsored on CareerPlug? I'll show you how to do that here. So in your CareerPlug account, you're going to have that careers page. Everyone gets that. And so on the dashboard over on the right-hand side, you'll see the teal blue where it says careers page. If you click that link, that is going to bring that up for your individual location. All of the careers page can be customized to your branding for your business. We encourage you to do that. This is a templatized system that you can do. We have help articles, our hiring expert team. You can also reach out to them if you ever get stuck doing this, and they can walk you through it. That entire team is available to all of you ASA utilizing CareerPlug Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 Central Time for any questions as well. But when we talk about the careers page, why is this important? So each individual location or business is going to have this page that is unique to them. And so once you post jobs within your account, your jobs would display here. And so this is from the test account. And so as you'll see, I have some jobs posted in it. And so this has all of this here. Some unique ways that I've seen business owners utilize this URL is something as simply as creating their business card, but having a QR code on the business card that links back to this URL here. So that anywhere they are distributing their business card, anyone that scans that URL is also going to see any of the positions that they are hiring. Maybe you are out and you are at a warehouse, or maybe you are out picking up parts or something like that, and you meet someone and you think, man, I would love to have them on my team. You could simply hand them that business card, they scan the QR code, and they could see all of the positions that you have available at your workplace. So you get your individual one, but I also want to show you on the main UASA website. So if you go here, so let's say that someone's on the internet, they're searching, and they come to this website and they see, oh, jobs. So when they click jobs, this is what we call an aggregator that we have created for UASA. And so this is going to display all jobs posted by all members that are utilizing CareerPlug. And so when you hit search, people can put in their zip code, a mile radius, and find jobs. So you're going to have your job on that main association website. And so that gives you another advantage of casting your net wide and pulling in applicants from a variety of sources. And so everyone gets that. So I encourage you, even if you're not going to try the pro version right now, activate that complimentary account, post those jobs so that they're being displayed on the UASA main website. But in an account here, so what do you do? Let's say that you're like, okay, I'm going to try this. I've closed my jobs on Indeed. I need to make my first post because I really need to hire. So we're going to click the plus sign here, and then we're going to select use a job template. And so you'll see these are two. You can also build your own, and I'll show you that's here. Create a blank job template. Maybe you need to hire for an office manager or something like that. You would go through and you could create one from scratch. You can also save that as a template at the very end. But use a job template, and let's say appliance repair technician. So we're going to hit create job. This is going to auto-populate the template that has been provided for you, but this can always be edited. We also encourage you, it's really important that you know your state's laws related to hiring and that you make sure that the template speaks truly to that. Obviously, one template is not going to cover the laws and regulations for 50 states. So make sure that if your state has anything unique, you know that. Like New York, it is a law starting in November that your salary range must be included. So just know your state's laws around hiring. You will then select your location. It'll auto-populate the zip code for you. And then as you come down here, you will see that this template is here. There is a change that I want to encourage you to try, and it comes back to us talking about benefits and perks. Up here, I would simply hit enter, come up, bold it so that people see it. And then this is where you would start with your benefits and perks so that when applicants, we want to make it bulleted. We want applicants to be able to quickly see, okay, this is what's in it for me. I want to be a part of this. So maybe you're willing and you offer paid training. You offer a company vehicle or tuition reimbursement, paid time off, anything that you offer that really helps you build, like we talked about, being that employer of choice, lead with those things. Think about this. This is your marketing pitch to show applicants who you are, how you're different, and why they should be a part of you. And then you'll see this here talking about United Plant Services Association, bringing validity to you as a brand, right? Showing them that you're a member of a trusted organization, that you're not just some average person off the street, that your business is exceptional and working for you is also exceptional. Then it goes into the responsibilities and requirements. Like we said, any of this can be tweaked. So like here, valid driver's license with a clean record. That may not be important to you. In addition, like a clean record, maybe you say, okay, that's subjective. That depends on the person interpreting it. And you say, okay, I'm going to remove that. You can take that off. And then there you go. That is what you have next. So all of that can be changed to your liking. As you scroll down, this is where you would select full-time. Here's where salary. We show you here that it needs to be included. And so you do this and you select ranged. And so you would put that in for your area. And so let's say that you're going to start someone at here per hour. You put that in, next section. A tool that you can use, and I want to show you this here. If you go to Indeed.com, they have a new tab at the top called the Find Salaries tab. And so this is a good way to check and see for your position if your pay is really competitive with those in your area. So if we put in appliance technician, and let's just use Austin, Texas, and you hit search, that is going to show you the average base salary in your area for the position that you are looking for. If you know that you are starting $3 or $4 below even the average base salary, how do you make up for that? That's where the benefits and perks really come into play. You don't necessarily have to be the highest paying. You still need to be competitive in pay, but you can make up for some of that compensation difference with the culture of the office. You're showing them a path to advancement, how you can help them build a career, and how you are different. As you scroll down, it'll also show you the top paying people in your area. And so you can see what those people are paying. It'll show you bedroom communities surrounding there. And then also what are the most common benefits for appliance technicians being offered currently. And so this is a great tool to be able to check ourselves to say, okay, is what I'm offering what applicants are looking for? Is this going to be enough to get applicants in the door? So we've done that. We say, okay, that's competitive. I'm going to hit next section. And this is where you have the ability to choose some of these beginning questions. We would encourage you to turn resume required off. The system is going to default to on. Why do we encourage you to turn resume required off? We know that most applicants are applying with their mobile device. They may not have a resume readily available at that moment. So they may be applying on a 10-minute break while they're employed somewhere else. And so by simply turning that off, that allows them to be able to apply easier. We go back and we say that we know applicants are applying for around a job a minute on Indeed. So we get 6 to 7 seconds of their time to catch their attention, to make them want to apply. And then we get another 54 seconds for them to complete the application process. So we want to make it as easy as possible to apply. We can always ask for a resume or work references or anything like that later in the interview process. So then here you'll see these pre-screen questions. Pre-screen questions are a great way to help you still get an idea of the caliber of applicant applying to work for you. And so these questions are all scored. And so the little tool here will show you how they're scored. So maybe for you, you say, I just need them to have 1 to 3 years of experience. You could change that to a score of 10, where they scored just as high as someone that has 3+ years. And maybe you come down here. This is a question here, are you legally authorized to work in the US, that we're starting to see not be a great question anymore. And that is simply because no one ever answers no to that question. And so it's almost like, I don't want to say you're wasting a question, but it's not giving you a lot of insight into the skill set or the caliber of the applicant applying. So we may delete that question. And then you say, okay, these are important questions. I want to move forward. So we move down. If this were a managerial position, so maybe you were looking for a regional manager or something like that, you could say, okay, I'm going to turn on this math and verbal aptitude assessment. That's important to me. I want to make sure they know how to do that. and then you would go to next section. For the customer service, we're gonna say no. Next section here, it'll show you who the hiring manager is. And so let's say that you own the account, but you have an office manager and you really want them to manage that. You could add them as a user in the account, and then they would be who would get notifications for applicants applying to this position. And then we go to next section. Here, you'll see the onboarding there. Okay, we're ready to post our job. I have to move my little toolbar. And then we hit post job. Then we have the question related to how do we sponsor a job if we want? You'll see over here, you see this $sign. This means the job is not sponsored. If a job is sponsored on Indeed, then over here on the left-hand side, there would be a green $sign here. And so you click this, it's going to bring up for you to, it'll load. And this is where you would add in your Indeed employer account for that. And so, let's see, okay. And so it won't do it because I don't have one linked right here, but when you push that in your account, it will bring up a box for you to register to your Indeed employer account. We do not monetize off a sponsorship through Indeed. That is why it links directly to your Indeed employer account. But with the new Indeed API integration we have with them, it has the prediction tool. So you will actually see how many clicks versus applicants you're estimated to get with the spend dollars that you are putting behind it. So sponsoring your job through CareerPlug works exactly the same as sponsoring it through Indeed. So you can still have your job shared to Indeed, you can still sponsor it, but you're also getting visibility in 14 other places in addition to just Indeed. You also have the ability to share your job to other sources. And so you'll see here, shared job posting, manual sources. So maybe there's a local trade school that you want to take advantage of. You could hit share, copy link with description, and go post that link there. You can also link your social sites to your CareerPlug so that you're sharing your job there as well. So we have a lot of system and tools here that can make it very easy for you to get your job, not just on job boards, but on local job boards as well in your area. Then within your account under reporting, it would show you here under the source analysis where your applicants are coming from. And so once, if this were a live account I were showing you, it would begin to show you what percentage are from Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Google Jobs, social media, careers page, UASA careers page versus hires, so that you could really tailor your marketing spend to know, okay, yeah, I spent $1,500 on Indeed last month and I got 5 hires. I want to keep doing that, or whatever that looks like. And so this will really help you with measuring ROI on where you're spending money in advertising and marketing towards applicants and getting them to apply. You'll also be able to see how many clicks per applicant you're getting on a job, how they're performing on the job board as well. So then in your account, you also have your applicants here. We were talking about texting. Let's say Parker Jones here scored an 84. You want to just shoot him a quick message here. Okay, checking your availability. Text message can also be sent. Boom, there. As you click on the applicant, this is where you will have preloaded templates in the system to help you communicate with these. So, okay, this is Parker, 84. There's his resume. We want to move forward. Okay, phone screen. Yep, I liked what I've seen on the phone screen, so I'm going to advance them to the next step. Okay, in-person interview. You invited them, invite. Okay, here we see texting is already loaded. So when you hit send, that in-person interview invite is going to be sent as an email and a text message simultaneously. So that way they're being able to get it 2 times. If they're in their email, they're going to see it, but they're also going to get a text notifying them that they have applied. And so that is simply, you have that. Maybe you say, okay, I really liked him. He did well. You advance them to the next step. And it's as simple as that for completing that. So I want to stop there again, Sarah, Maggie, with any questions that we may have within the system, how it works, etc.
So far, Kate has one about the difference between the free and the pro, but we can answer that once we get out of this section. Does anyone else have any questions? Not yet.
Okay, so that is really the high level overview of how CareerPlug works. But we know when you get in there, you're going to need some help. You're going to be like, okay, what do I do when I'm posting? Okay, we've talked about best practices. You already have the template loaded, you have the job titles. We know we start with benefits and perks. We know we want to include a salary range. We make it as easy as possible to apply. We talked about it's really important that we close any jobs that are external of CareerPlug, that we follow the best practices of we post our job one time within a 25-mile radius. And so an example to use for this, maybe you own an appliance repair business and you have a location in Cincinnati and Cleveland. Absolutely, you would post the same position in each zip code. But let's say that you have, you're in Austin, Texas and Round Rock, they're not quite 25 miles apart. You would post that position one time for your business. And so that is Indeed's role. It is a 25-mile radius. And so that is the same thing, so that we are keeping the job board neat, we are keeping it clean, and we are only posting positions for what we are truly hiring for. I think there may be one additional question, Sarah. Okay, Matthew says, if I pause the Indeed job, would that suffice to be able to post the same position on CareerPlug? So the job would have to be closed and then reposted as a new job in CareerPlug, Matthew. But if you're in here and you need a little help, you get stuck, we do have a few tools and resources available to you as well. One thing that you can do is attend a live training. We have a training called CareerPlug 101. It's very similar to this, showing you how to post your first job, how you click an applicant, and how you communicate with them. That is available every Monday. So maybe you have an office manager that you think, I would really like them to learn this. They could attend one of those 30-minute sessions. It has a live Q&A at the end of it, and that takes place every Monday. We also have the Help Center. We call this kind of CareerPlug's Google. You could simply type in, so maybe you're wondering, where does my job go? What job boards does it go to? You'll see here, job board best practices, job boards where CareerPlug automatically sends your jobs. You click on it, and then it's going to go through, provide you some information based on where it goes. But maybe here is one of the ones, what are job board best practices for Indeed? You're wondering those. Here's the one job, one post rule we talked about. And it gives you explanation as to why that is, all the rules to follow, so that you don't have to remember everything all the time. We have that built in for you. Maybe you want to set up for message templates and you need help with how to do that. You could simply type in templates, editing email templates. It's going to come up, it's going to have a tutorial, and it's going to walk you through how to do that. Maybe you still get stuck and you need a little bit more help. You can also get help from our hiring expert team that's available Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 Central Time. So you could click this. They can also be reached by phone at 512-579-0164. And so that entire team is dedicated to helping owners navigate through their account and utilize it to the fullest. And so, Sarah, I'm good to open it up for any questions at this point related to anything CareerPlug. I'll stop sharing too so that I can see people if they. Okay, and then we have Kate's question of what is the difference between the free and the pro version? The free version sends your job to that UASA careers page, but that is kind of where it stops. That is where your job goes. The pro version is where your job will be distributed to all of the major job boards. So Indeed, LinkedIn, Google Jobs, etc. And so that is what that looks like going there, as well as the pro is where you have the ability to text communicate with the applicants, and the free version you do not. Don says, does it do any good to post similar ads each week? So when we talk about the one job, one post rule, that is called location blasting. And so you cannot post the same job multiple times. Now, things that you can do is, maybe you have two different titles that you call it. So you're looking for an appliance repair technician and you're like, actually I'm looking for someone, I can train them to do that. I just need someone that is good with their hands. They enjoy that kind of work. You could even post as a handyman and do that. And if you're going to offer paid training, you can call them whatever you want internally, but you could have a different job title. But as far as posting the same job every week, The way that is not the way that Indeed works. That would actually hurt you more than it would help you, because they would flag your account for location blasting and limit your visibility on the job boards. If you want to keep your job with higher visibility further up on the job board for an extended amount of time, that is where sponsoring your job would be beneficial and putting some spend dollars behind it to keep its placement higher on the job board.
Anybody else have anything for Kayla?
And Sarah, I think we said it at the beginning, but for anyone that attends this webinar and upgrades between now and August 31st, you will get $100 off of your pro subscription through CareerPlug as well.
Okay, so do they need to enter a promo code or?
They do not. We have it set up. Maggie will provide the attendee list, and then anyone on that list will get $100 off of their subscription through August 31st.
Awesome. Thank you. Looks like Ray Andrews has a question. I'm going to allow him to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ray?
Yeah, thank you. So is there like I had to step out for a little bit, as far as the pro pricing, how does that work? Did you
No, we did not. So it is $595 per year. And so that is a flat rate fee. That is whether you post 1 job, 20 jobs, you get 10 applicants or 10,000 applicants, and that includes texting at that rate. And so that is just a flat rate price. And that is for you to be able to post to all of the job boards and text communicate with all applicants. And then if you upgrade between now and August 31st, it would be $495 for this year.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Ray. Don? I think I clicked.
Is that better?
There
Okay.
you go.
So it's that amount per year, but then you were saying something about sponsoring the ad. Is that sponsoring that ad then?
That is not. That is to have your job distributed to all of the job boards. All new accounts do get 30 days of ZipRecruiter sponsored for free. And so that is 30 days from the first day that you posted job. And so that is a one-time. So let's say you posted your first job on September 1st and you posted another job on September 15th. That first job would get 30 days of sponsorship for free. That second job would get 15 days of sponsorship for free. Indeed, sponsorship is an optional thing. Sometimes people, if they're in a highly competitive area, they want to keep that job higher on the job board for a longer period of time. So they will put some spend dollars behind it to keep its placement higher on Indeed. And that is optional. You do not have to sponsor jobs, but you can if you would like.
Kayla, that's 12 months from the day of activation, correct? So if they activate today, it expires in 2023 on August 18th.
That is correct.
Perfect. And then with one subscription, can you advertise in different markets?
So that kind of depends on what the geographic region looks like. So it's like we talked about, if you have Cincinnati and you have Cleveland, if it's the same business name, then yes. If it's a different business name, then no, you would possibly want to add another location within your account. So that is another option you have, is adding locations within your account at a discounted rate. A location is $495 per year instead of the $400 per year instead of the $595 per year. And so that would be an example if you were going to be in a place like maybe you're in Florida and you have St. Pete, you have Clearwater, you have Tampa, but you have the same business name. You could add those locations. That way, if you truly did need to post that multiple times, you could post it from each location and not get flagged for location blasting.
Okay. And what about 2 different states?
So
Same name.
2 different states, same name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would be able to utilize one account for that.
Okay.
To clarify, the locations really come in when you own locations within the same 25-mile radius, but you're hiring separate people for each location. So in really population density areas, you would want locations so that you can still post within that 25-mile radius and not get flagged for it.
Okay. Sue has, what if we've been a pro member and it's not time for a renewal? How would could they be eligible for the discount?
So the renewal will just be at normal. And so unfortunately, the discount, the way that our system works is that it would just go into play for people that are currently on basic. It's coded into the system that way.
Okay. Can you post remote jobs for all of the US, or how does that work if a job is a remote position?
So you can post a remote job. There are requirements that you have to meet to do that. And so if you click remote in the system, it will then pop up things to make sure that you are following the protocol for it to be a remote job so that you don't get flagged as well.
Awesome. Anybody else have questions? Okay. Kayla, could you share your email address if they have questions, or where they would reach out to if they already are members, and then how to just one more time recap on how they should sign up and activate?
I just
Awesome.
want the email that if you need help with your account in the chat, that is support@careerplug.com. That's that hiring expert team. They're available for an immediate response time. Their response time was within 2 hours of reaching out. And so that is the best team to contact for immediate support. The link, and I can grab that here. If you maybe get stuck and you're having trouble activating your account, this is the best place to put in your email there to get started with CareerPlug on that behalf. And then as well, if they reach out to you or Maggie and have issues, I can get them connected with someone as well.
Awesome. So if you do reach out to us at administration, it's administration@unitedservicers.com, or you can go to one of the two links or the email address that Kayla posted in the chat. And if you have any questions, we can assist you with that too, if you didn't write it down. If there's no other questions or anything else to add, we thank you for your time, Kayla.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, we're excited. Okay. If anyone needs anything, let us know. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you all on another webinar soon.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Bye-bye.
Bye.